Hi, it's me JD and welcome back. This video is all about card making mistakes that you might be making and how to fix them. First, be sure to hit the subscribe button now and then we'll jump right in. A common mistake crafters or card makers make is not protecting their work surface. Whether you craft at a desk or your dining room table, it's important to protect your work surface with a mat similar to this one I have here. This mat will help protect any damages or stains to your furniture. I also like that it has grids because I work a lot with paper and measurements, and so therefore having this grid is really helpful to me. For messier projects, I pull out my craft mat, which cleans and wipes very easily with a baby wipe, or I can wash it off with mild soap. A common mistake when you first start off stamping or gathering craft supplies is that you don't keep them organized. They're not categorized at all. You often waste time trying to find a certain stamp set or die set, or you end up buying double of the set because you forgot you had it. And sometimes you might even lose or misplace your supplies. I highly encourage you to find a system of organization that works for you that might end up saving you time and money. If you need some inspiration, I'll link my previous video here and down in the description box. When you're making cards, you might be a little overeager to see the finished result, as in, you might be a little impatient. So impatient that you might not be letting your work completely dry. To save yourself some misery, frustration, and a couple of curse words, always give it at least a few hours if you're working with some wet mediums, such as Nuvo drops or paint, or glue, really heavy glue like glossy accents. To be on the safe side, you might just want to let it dry overnight. In the meantime, you can always work on other projects, or you can try using a heat tool to help speed things along. When you are stamping on your handmade cards, you might get a little lazy or rush, and you forget to clean your stamps all the way after inking them. If you're going to be switching ink colors in between stamping, or perhaps you're done with your stamping, it's important to wipe off the excess ink on your stamp and then maybe test it on a scrap piece of paper. That way you don't transfer any unwanted ink colors on your next project. When you are through with all of your stamping, I like to use a stamp cleaner and a scrubbing pad to really clean my stamps. It's okay if they're stained, but you want to make sure that they don't transfer any ink onto any other project. So at first I spray the scrubber pad with the stamp cleaner, and then I scrub the part of the stamp that I inked, and then I use the other side of the scrubbing pad to help dry it off. A clean stamp means a longer lasting stamp. When working with paper, you often tend to cut a lot of things, whether it's the card base or different layers or different die cuts or sentiments. All this cutting might lead to a dull blade, which means frayed paper, which looks messy. You can get cleaner cuts and cleaner lines from your paper by changing the blades and your scissors often, or sharpening them if you have to. So I change the blade on my trimmer probably every couple months depending on usage, and it gives me a nice crisp cut every time I change the blade. For a nice clean cut with my scissors, I like to just get a scrap piece of aluminum foil and just cut a few cuts into it, and it'll help sharpen my scissors. When you're going to be doing a lot of ink blending on your cards, a common mistake is to not protect your other hand. Now, inky fingers means that you had a great time crafting. However, it also can mean that you might get ink in places where you didn't intend to get ink. I can't tell you how many times I left a smudge on another project because I forgot to wash my hands or protect my fingers from the ink. So when I remember to, I like to use a piece of masking tape and some scrap paper just to protect the fingers on my other hand if I'm going to be doing ink blending. If you do get ink on your fingers, mild soap and water should wash it out. Another common mistake that some card makers make is giving up too easily. Say you're working on a project and it's not how you envision, as in there's a mistake there and no matter what you do, you can't seem to fix it and you don't want to start all over again. I've definitely been there and I know what it feels like to just want to throw the project away. Before you come to that, you want to try your best to think of other possibilities and other ways to recover or redeem your hard work. You can try covering it up or cutting a piece of it to try and salvage all of your hard work. Another mistake a crafter or card maker might make is that you hoard your supplies and you don't use them. I can understand we might be too busy or we just get in a funk, but crafting is the best way to get out of that. Try and make an effort to use them on a somewhat regular basis. Otherwise, they'll just collect dust and space in your room, and now they're a burden. It doesn't have to be a card. You can just stamp or die cut some things, and you might find it a little more therapeutic, and it might get you in the crafting spirit. To help get you back in the crafting spirit, I'm hosting a giveaway with this video. To enter, you have to be subscribed to my channel and then leave a comment below on your favorite card to make. So it could be a shaker card, it could be a Father's Day card, it could be Christmas cards, etc. And then also be sure to leave either your Instagram handle or your Twitter handle or your email, some way for me to contact you if you win. I will randomly choose a winner in a few days. More details are listed down in the description box. Thanks!